Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. Today we're going to talk about a 1986 movie directed and written by John McTiernan. Who is he? Well, I don't know. He just made Die Hard, Predator, 13th Warrior, Thomas Crown Affair. Guy's made some pretty sweet looking movies. This one stars Pierce Brosnan. So, let's review Nomads.
The first civilized place we live in years, and already he's bald.
Damn freaks.
This movie starts out in LA with some city shots at night, and we see Dr. Elaine Flax, who's trying to catch some Z's in the spare room, but she gets woken up and has to head down to deal with a patient, a French patient who's bleeding, and you're gonna need more than one paper towel for that.
His pupils are constricted, pressure's up, motor stuff's right. I'm sure it's PCP, but I don't know. I can't get a needle in his check.
I think patients would listen to their doctors more if they were that cute. He's 007 Pierce Brosnan, and he's kind of erratic and going crazy, and she has to kick the cops out and try and calm him down, but then this happens. He's dead. Fuck, my interest in this movie is over. She gets a few stitches, she's recently divorced, she's been working 32 hours straight, she moved out west, but I like her personality.
Besides, you're too old for this career stuff. You should be home taking kids to get their teeth straightened. Oh, see that, nurse? See that? They turn 30 and everything is sex, sex, sex.
She finally gets off work after dealing with this terrible keen end to her day, and she goes home and makes love to the shower. She has a drink and then she has some strange memories. The next day she's having lunch with Cassie and Dr. Oz, who tells her about the patient, and she remembers his last words. It seems to be affecting her as she continues to relive these memories. Jean-Charles Pommier's memories and his wife's as they're moving into the new place, and we get to hear his accent.
Hey, come now, come. Huh? Don't worry about the door. I will repaint it in the morning.
What are you going to do about it?
What should I do? Huh? Call the police and say children have painted my door. Come quickly.
The hospital staff is getting worried as Elaine's not doing so well, but we see more of Jean. He's an anthropologist, and he likes to study people, and he's excited about this move to America. Him and his wife seem happy now, but someone painted Sex, Death, Pigs, Kill on his garage, and the paint is wet, so it's happened before. Is that a band? That same black van is looming with some metal rockers in it. Gone unrolls a welcome carpet. It's a little bloody, and it's got articles in it. I think people have been killed there before.
Hey, we've got a hemorrhage here.
We keep jumping back and forth between Jean's memories and Elaine. The doctors can't figure out what's wrong with her. They think the machines aren't working.
This is brain function of a person who's wide awake. Hearing, seeing, walking around, talking to people.
You know she just did say something in there, and it was in French. And the crazy who jumped her the other night was a Frenchman.
The van keeps lurking and John calms his wife. And he goes outside and he starts taking photos and he follows the van. Also, Elaine is now missing from the hospital and she's actually seen at the beach in the next scene. John keeps following him even though it's been like, I don't know how many hours. It's daytime now. And these guys are just like rockers and like dressed like people from Cyborg. And then there's this murder.
Hey, stop!
He decides to shout and tell them to stop, which was a mistake. Should have just taken those photos to the police, and he has to run and hide under a car. It's been like 24 hours now, it's night now, and he decides instead of going home, he's just gonna keep following them and taking more photos. They get to this one place, I think it's 539 address, and this guy's starting to pose for him because he knows he's there. And he gets one of the girls to jump up in the car and take some sexy photos, and he's just doing it like, bro.
Salaud! Tu sais depuis combien de temps? Tu sais depuis combien de temps je t'attends?
Finally goes home to his wife, and he gets slapped and he has to explain what's going on to her.
Yes, I know about them! And yes, I didn't tell you because I wanted to know what kind of people could think of a murder as some sort of shrine. Nomads, yes, like all of them. Like every place we've lived for the last 10 years.
Here?
Yes, here now in this city, in the middle of a modern city.
Nomads, living outside any structure, any system or laws, always moving. He wants to develop one of the roles, and then we see Cassie's over at Elaine's, and she gets a call from some doctor who tells her about evil, hostile spirit nomads.
They were supposedly hostile spirits. According to the myth, they were capable of assuming human form. Thought to inhabit places of past calamity, they brought disaster and madness to any humans who fell in with them.
Maybe we shouldn't jump to conclusions here, but I'm just going to assume that Elaine is being haunted by Jean's memories of evil spirit possession. He sees one of them in his house, but all his doors are locked. And then he sees another and follows it outside. But then it disappears. He starts getting chased by the van, but at a nice pace as not to run him over. Hell of a chase as he ends up back at that place where he was taking the photos earlier, 539. He sees a nun who offers him a flashlight. Her name is Bertril, and she invites him in for some tea. And she knows his name too. I'm glad she's not offended by constant flashlights in the face, because he keeps doing it. She just tells him that he looked too closely.
They know about you. Go away, Pommier. You can still survive this.
She warns him to leave his job and hide. But he'd rather explore this place. And we see flashes of nuns hanging themselves, going nuts, and literal flashes. And he wakes up in his car and they're everywhere, so he decides to get out with a tire wrench and take out one of them. He goes inside his house. I'd be concerned why your door was unlocked, and why is he standing naked now? He goes upstairs to his wife to make love to her or cry, maybe both. Kinda kills the mood. I'm more of a wait till the after to cry. And then next day he wakes up and the body's gone. We see Elaine in Jean's house with Jean's wife who's freaking out, and Elaine explains.
He was taking the old woman's advice and he was running, but something wouldn't let him get away, wouldn't let him out.
Give the award to the most understanding woman to Jean's wife here. We get more memories of Jean dealing with the evil spirits, and Elaine asks the wife about Jean. One of the blood soak articles has an image of one of the spirits, and Elaine realizes that Jean was running. Cassie is coming to pick her up, but gets a visit from one of the spirits.
Hey, get out of my fucking car! Get the fuck out of my car! No! We gotta get out of here now.
The two girls go to leave, but then the spirits show up with more. They break in, and Elaine keeps experiencing the torture that Jean went through. And eventually they find a way up into the attic, and it doesn't stop them until Elaine freaks out. And then they stop, and the wife asks him what happened to Jean. They try to sneak out. The house is trashed. They have a lit candle, I'm assuming to ward off evil spirits. And they get on the road and they drive. And for a movie that's been fairly disappointing up until now, this is pretty cool.
Don't stop. No matter what you see, don't stop.
What a great shot to end on. They get out of Cali and they survive. The end. One of my favorites, Gerard Depardieu, was gonna be Pierce Brosnan's character, but you know what? I'm happy you got to see Pierce Brosnan. I'm happy I got to hear him use a French accent this entire fucking movie. It was pretty cool. There were some issues on set between the lead female actress and McTiernan. He didn't seem to really like her, which kind of is reflected in the film because she's barely in it. And we get a lot of flashes of Jean, which I don't think really worked. Like, you kill off your main character, and then we get a lot of flashes of him, and he's still throughout the whole thing, but like we know his fate, and that sucked. However, Motorcycle Pierce Brosnan was so fucking cool. A lot of the people on set were just like, we should have stuck with just the supernatural, because trying to have it in reality just made some of these things plainly fucking stupid, were one of the quotes I had read.
He tried to tell me something and I couldn't understand. He screamed. His whole memory is in my head and I don't understand. I don't know what he wants.
Lesley-Anne was pretty good in this. I found her charming in the beginning, but after that it was all kind of downhill, where it was just she's just dealing with the trauma and these memories, and they didn't have her do anything else really after that. And the fact that they couldn't battle the ghost didn't help. I mean, there are a lot of flaws to this movie. How would you fix this film? Because it wasn't quite working. First off, you don't kill 007. Like, sure, he can be beat up at the beginning and, like, you know, in trauma and all that, and have her show up, and he can still whisper something in her ear, which will help her see things. But you don't kill him, because after that, you know, we're just following his flashbacks, and you're not as involved, because you know he's dead. You have her have some of his memories, and then show up at his place, and then they can battle together, and then we're actually involved in their battle, and, like, we don't know what's going to happen next, because we knew what was going to happen. Like, that took away from the suspense. Like, yeah, we know what's going to happen to him. Oh, here he is. Is he going to die here? No, he's going to die somewhere else. We know.
They do not participate. No exchanges, no constraints. They resort to violence at no provocation. And they get away with it. It's as if to the official world they did not exist.
Then you go into some cool backstory where he's explaining Nomads to her, where it's just like, here we are in the Arctic, and here's that Eskimo nomad photo I took, and then, like, you know, maybe in the desert, here's this other and he's just like, yeah, we were being hunted, that's why we came to America to start our life fresh. Because that's what he does in the end. He's trying to get away from it all, but he can't. And it'd be more interesting if he was explaining that to her, and you actually had this backstory as to why he came to America to get away from everything. And then, you know, you can still go to 539 and see the nuns, but you go in a group. You take the wife with you, you take Elaine with you. It'd be interesting. And you could show more creepy stuff in the nun place. They already had the set, they already had the nuns. So, I mean, you just add a full day or something to the production there, and then you have all those extra scenes and all that extra creepiness. It'd be really cool. And you could explain a bit more why these evil spirits are after them. That would help as well. You can still have your 007 motorcycle bike thing at the end. You could kill him off if you want, but you do it closer to the end. You have him sacrifice himself to save his wife and to save Elaine. And have that really cool ending with him. You can still kill Elaine's friend because you need a couple of victims here. You can have some innocent people see it, but, you know, they should escape at the end. Keep the ending the same. Escape. But maybe they go to Mexico. And you have a cliffhanger, and it's just like, hey, why is there a biker dude in Mexico? It's too hot to be wearing leather. That's just how, like, just off the top of my head, how I would fix this. It would make it a better movie. Sorry, I wasn't there. In the end, it's a flick. It's not terrible, but, like, it does leave you fairly unsatisfied. So there is stuff you can learn from watching it. Give it a shot. You might enjoy it. You might just enjoy the ending with the motorcycle. But it was just like, hey, I'm 007. I'm pretty cool. As always, guys, thanks for watching.